Hey folks, Doc here. It's another lovely day here in the garage, and I've been working, albeit with the door open, for quite a while today. I now understand why hot rod builders tend to use hollow plastic engine blocks for mock-up for figuring out engine mounts. In and out and in and out and in and out. Damn, diesel's heavy. Anyways, let's have a look at what I've got going on so far. Alright, so there up on the sawhorses is the diesel Weasel. Down on the floor is the diesel that makes the Weasel, the diesel Weasel. Anyways, as you can see, I've stripped off the muffler and the air box and the recoil and parts and pieces and stuff all over the place, fuel tanks off, all to make way for trying to wedge this damn thing in there. And there's the in there that I'm wedging this damn thing. Now, got a little something to say here. I was going back and forth online with a buddy last night, David Mills on Facebook, Crazy Dave on Crazy Dave's Builds on YouTube, and he was giving me the gears, so to speak, and we were having a good time chatting back and forth. Dave likes pestering me, and it's all good. And Dave was telling me that A, I was insane, and B, there was absolutely no way I was going to make this engine fit without cutting, altering, or raising the hood, without screwing up the steering, and without hacking the frame. And I said, you don't think I can do that? And he said, no, I don't think you can do that. I said, I'm Doc friggin' Sprocket, man. I do not take no for an answer. I'm a stubborn son of a bitch, and I'm going to make this happen. So how the heck did I do it? Wasn't easy. I had some technical difficulties with the camera while I was wrenching and shooting today. It seems to happen every so often. And it's just one of those things where I lost some footage. So I'll just try and bring you back up to speed here. I had to create a frame for the engine mount, like a cradle, out of 2-inch angle iron, and basically weld that to the bottom of the existing frame so the engine sinks down within the frame. The engine's actually sitting lower than the frame. And I can pick you up just before I put the final engine mount plate in. This here was the tail piece at a mule. It's some heavy gauge steel. It's awfully damn close to 1/4 of an inch. Anyways, the piece that I cut out of here was just big enough to serve as the engine mount plate. So after I created the angle iron framework, dropped the plate in. Alright, now back to your regularly scheduled video. Alright, so everything's been cleaned up. I'm just going to go ahead and drop this plate in, like so. That's where the engine shall sit. This is where y'all get to see me struggle with this gargantuan biatch, and just with the clearances involved, as you can see, I've taken the steering column out of my way again. With the clearances involved, I might have to loosen this hoop and loosen the grill and all that stuff to wedge the damn thing in, but I'll give it a shot. I don't know. Really would help if it was lighter. Okay, I think we got her. That's looking pretty good right there. Anyways, I'll throw the steering column back on and show you how it really fits. So I made a very slight height miscalculation. Happens to the best of us, including me. And in order to get this thing to sit as high as I need it to, because there's only so low I can go without, butchering the frame, yada yada yada. There's this little yellow plastic cap that you're supposed to be able to unscrew and pour some oil in on cold starts. So I had to lose this because the steering column was hitting it, just to kind of stick this thing in place. It's basically just missing the spot. The cap goes here. I know you can't see it. I'll show you again in a second. Anyways, it's not like I'm going to be running this damn thing in the wintertime, so I'm not too concerned about it. But what I did, instead of permanently filling the hole and making it inaccessible for future use, And I mean, the truth of the matter is I could probably put a port in the intake and accomplish the exact same damn thing. But anyways, I took one of the metric bolts that wasn't being used, that was holding the fuel tank on, and I'll just zoom in there. I cut the bolt off and then cut a slot in it with a hacksaw. And I'm basically making a set screw. And I've got some Loctite here, some thread locker. Bomb some stuff's a little on the wet side. Throw some thread locker on there. This is some 242 Loctite or whatever equivalent. Just gonna go ahead and pop that in the hole. Turn that in. Bueno. Alright, so back we are to the steering. Go ahead and drop that in place and let the wheel fall over. I've just been using a couple of bolts just to hold it in for mock-up and getting everything figured out. Okay, so with all that silliness out of the way, you can see that the hood is closed. That's right, it's closed. Freaking barely, but it's closed. On the other side here, you can see I've put the CVT driver clutch on. And the reason that I couldn't lower the engine anymore, well, without hacking into the frame anyways, is might be a little hard to tell with the available light that's getting through, but I've got about 1/8 of an inch between the bottom of the CVT driver inner sheave and the frame rail. So any lower and I'd be notching the frame to fit that. I was hoping to avoid that. It's not that it wasn't possible. It's not that I couldn't do that. Hell, it's not that I wouldn't do that. It's just I was hoping to avoid it. And it looks like I've managed. So we'll spring the hood open and give you a better look at what is. So I got the rocker cover to sit in that little notch created by the hood clip in the steering column. And right here is where that little yellow plastic cap was to go. And the cap interfered, so it went. And, well, damn thing fits. Obviously you've noticed that the recoil assembly is not going to go back on. Yeah, she's a tight squeeze there, boys. The recoil assembly is not going to go on. Doesn't matter to me. I have zero intentions of pull starting this pig. As a matter of fact, I might see if the pull start fits one of my Briggs engines. Maybe I'll put it on Mule's Vanguard or something like that. We'll see. Anyways, I'm just going to create a debris screen to keep crap from getting into the cooling fins on the flywheel there. And that all is good. And from there it's custom fuel tank, custom exhaust, custom air inlet, and starting to get things rigged. But there you go, folks. I said this damn engine would fit, and it fits. Love you, Dave. Okay, so the only thing I have left to deal with here is the decompression lever hits the hood when it's in the upright position. When it's down, it's clear. So I got to do something with that lever. Now, I could just take it off entirely and not worry about it, because that's only really used when you pull start the engine, and I have no intention of pull starting the damn thing. Or I could bend, re-weld, otherwise alter that lever. I don't know, I'll figure that out later. This bolt here does actually touch the hood, like pretty hard when the hood's closed. You got to close the hood hard against it. So I may or may not do something with that, or I may or may not, you know, care, really. Anyway, so that's the situation. The only thing I have left to do, other than deal with the decompression lever, is to actually drill bolt holes through the engine mount plate to bolt the engine down. But it's in there solidly, and the damn thing fits. Now, as far as the steering goes, I did sort of make a bet with myself, and frankly with Dave a little bit, that I wouldn't alter the steering to fit the engine. And I did not. The engine fits, as you can see. The steering is unaffected. It's all there. It's intact. It's functional. Nothing's hitting. That said, I may relocate the front axle in, you know, rod style. I might extend it out forward, and if I do, I'm going to have to alter the steering, obviously, to make it work again. So if the steering does get changed, it's because of the axle placement and not to fit that ridiculous engine. Okay, so that was my jumping through hoops miracle worker crap for today. Thanks for tuning in to Sprocket's Garage on YouTube, and until next time, take care of yourself. What I did was I screwed the shot up.